Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another edition of This Week in Kyrix. Today is Wednesday, May 17th of 2017. And, yeah. Last week, I had not a tournament, but a match, 2 matches actually, of Star Trek up at the gaming store. Which was cool. Oh, I forgot I started doing that. Boxing shit in. Anywho, so, oh good, I have it. Oh, damn it, I'm doing this shit again. I want to point out this only happens during the recordings. I never have this fucking issue when I actually play. But anyway, so yeah, I got to test my tournament team up against another guy's tournament team, although to be fair, as he put it, he's phoning that tournament in because he cheesed everybody last month with a fighter swarm. For those who aren't familiar with Star Trek, the attack wing game, which is nearly all of you, I'm willing to wager, fighters are fucking broken. And even after all this time, they've never really been nerfed, other than, I think they made a ruling while I was playing. It could have been the rule all the time, but something like you need a ship with a hull of 4 or higher per fighter squadron, you know. So I can't just have 6 fighters out on the field, you know. But really, that's not that much of a deterrent when you consider the fact that the Peregrine fighters at the Federation fields have a shield and can take and have 5 stacks with the fighters, so you're looking at 10 hits to take it down, which is on par with some of the Borg shit. Meanwhile, the Hideki fighters at the Dominion fields do not have shields, but they make up for that by hitting like a fucking Borg cube does. Granted, they can only do it up to range 2, and in a 90-degree arc, but that kind of doesn't matter. You know? Especially since they have this trick called flanking attack, where they just combo their dice with something else and hit for like 10 dice. And you might think, well, Kyrix, that doesn't seem that bad, because in this example, you already know that the second ship that's contributing its dice doesn't get to attack again that round. It's a combined attack. Combined? That's not a word. It's a combined attack. Well, here's the kicker. Let's say I have a Klingon bird of prey, because chances are I do. You know, I'm kind of been using them a lot lately. And anyway, in this particular thing, this bird of prey, when cloaked, gets... Matter of fact, let's use a Vorcha class, because I know its stats better. It gets 1 die for defense, and then 4 more for the cloak. So I'm rolling 5 dice. The Hideki is at range 1. Let's say I'm rolling a generic Vorcha. Hideki's at range 1. It's rolling like 6 dice. Or let's just say the Hideki's rolling 6. I don't remember if it does that at range 2 or at range 1 or what, but it's rolling 6 dice. Well, I get to dodge. You know, I get to roll 5 dice against their 6. Them's pretty good odds that I'm gonna dodge almost everything they throw at me. Right? Okay. Let's throw in another ship that's got... Let's say for some reason they're teamed up with a Scimitar and it's at range 1. So it's gonna add 7 dice to the other thing's 6. That's 13 dice. Well, now they're rolling 13 dice, and I'm rolling 5. Suddenly, this is gonna hurt a lot. Especially if the Hideki target locked me before I cloaked. Meaning it gets to reroll all its misses. Because it's not 2 ships firing, it's 1 ship firing. So he can reroll any of those 13 dice he wants. That's bad. So yeah, long story short, because he fielded a whole bunch of fighters, he felt obligated to make up for it by fielding an entirely Kazon fleet. And I made reasonably short work of that fleet in the first round, and in the second round he let someone else play. and the other person won, with him backing him up. And keep in mind, it was a guy who wanted to learn the game, and I'm like, how about I play and you teach him, you know? Because I need practice and he wants to learn. He's like, cool. So I'm 1-1 with this fleet. And he, to give my opponent credit, he tried to give me advice on the fleet, and I basically told him, look, I've got this built, I'm testing mechanics right now. It's not so much about winning as it is learning. Because I'm using a lot of points on a lot of secondary weapons that I don't otherwise need. And while he might not feel the same way about this, the reason I lost was because I didn't use those secondary weapons. Because I was using Chang's Bird of Prey. Well, Chang's Bird of Prey has a trick where if I'm cloaked, I can fire torpedoes and not decloak. Get down! I'm telling her get down all goddamn day. It's pissing me off. But anyway, its trick is that if you fire torpedoes while you're cloaked, you don't decloak, which is really useful. Just gonna say. And, you might be thinking, well, what happens when you decloak? Well, here's what happens. When you decloak, you still get your dice. That turn, anyway. If let's say I shoot first, so I fire and I decloak, I'd still get my defense dice, my 5 dice. You know, or in this case, like 6, I think, because I think the Bird of Prey is more agile. But I still get those defense dice. However, next turn, while I'm cloaking again, they can target lock me. Well, here's the thing. I had just Chang's Bird of Prey left against his 2 Kazon ships, and I decided, you know what? I'm in a good position. It's going to be hard for them to zero in on me, so I'm going to decloak this turn. And I did. And they target locked me, both ships, and the next turn blasted the ever-loving fuck out of me. And there was nothing I could do about it. Get down. Get. Oreo, the only reason you didn't get squirted right now is because you were on the PlayStation. I keep forgetting that things just jump there now. Actually want that and that. But, yeah. Long story short, my decloaking cost me that match. Now, it's entirely possible that he would have still won, but not as likely, you know. Plus, hopefully, this week at the tournament, I will pick up a whole bunch of resource cards. Because you get tons of resources, and I think we get more than we actually end up using a lot of the time. So they might have a bunch of shit left over from tournaments that I otherwise didn't make it to. It'd be cool if they could hook me up. They might. The judge has already talked about hooking me up with at least one of them. Because it's not like prize ships, you know. These are participation prizes. This is show up and you get one kind of thing. So it's not that out of the ordinary for the new guy or the returning guy to get a whole bunch of resources, you know. But anyway, HeroClix. Okay. To tell this story, I have to tell another story. I've known for about a month now that yesterday I had a doctor's appointment for a disability. It was a physical appointment. None of us can figure out why it's a physical appointment because my disability is mental. But I told the doctor that. He's like, well, your stuff's coming out fine. I'm like, it's a mental disability. He's like, then why do they send you here? I'm like, I have no idea, but I didn't want to argue. You know? So, had to go there. Now, without getting into specifics on where I live, I had to go, let's say, 36 streets and 44 avenues. Travel 36 streets and 44 avenues to get to the doctor's office. It's Florida. It's summery. Even though it's spring, it's got summery weather. Like, it's been 85 to 90-ish Also keep in mind, I didn't find this out until, like, last night. Like, or even this morning at like 3 in the morning or something, that my front tire on my bike was under half the tire pressure I normally have. So I was straining this whole way. Also, my GPS didn't like the direction I was going, so it was bitching at me the whole way. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, to continue this little story, again, I had to travel a long, long way. And it gets better, because after this, incidentally, I drank like 10 cups of water out of their water cooler when I got there. Then I had to travel a further 40 streets over, and another 50 or so avenues up to get to the gaming store. And then another, let's say, 2 streets back home, and about 90 or so avenues home. So yeah, I did a fucking lap around St. Petersburg is what I did. I ended up in Pinellas Park at one point. I didn't get lost, for once. I was actually supposed to be there, because that's where the fucking doctor was. So yeah, that was fun. Now be aware, I'm on a tight budget. I had $31 left. I had allocated $26 for this tournament. Got there and been told, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna add this much in. It's now $31.50, so I had to fucking borrow change for the tournament. And then I had to borrow more money so I could do Star Trek on Saturday. On this coming Saturday. But I got it, thankfully. But yeah, it's been one of those goddamn weeks. Now you're probably thinking, well, Kyrix, you usually do good on these tournaments. Did you win a booster? I did not win a booster. I sucked. I won exactly 1 match, and it was because it was the new kid. And when he's on the ball, he's one of the best guys. But if he gets to round 3 and he hasn't won enough to really be in the game, then he kind of peters out. And understandably, lots of people do that. I've had a couple of those days myself. So that was one thing. Another thing is, he didn't use half his powers, and he forgot at least 2 of his characters were even on the map. There was twice where I killed his quote-unquote last character, then noticed another one. I'm like, oh, okay, let me kill this one now. Then I kill that one, and oh, there's one more over here. And the fucked up thing is, if he'd remembered those characters, he might have won. So I would have had 3 losses. But I did get the LE Black Panther, which was sort of a giveaway. We had like 2 kits. We had enough that pretty much everybody got one, and he's so good. So I'm pleased to have gotten him, because he's fucking broken, and he plays right into my playstyle. So that just makes him even better. But yeah. Not the best week. Now, I have been making phenomenal progress on Dawn of Souls, Final Fantasy II. Should be done with it within a couple days, actually. I'd honestly be surprised if I had to spend too much more time on this thing. I'm in a grinding session for all my magic and shit. So that's a thing. So yeah, I expect to be spending about a day or more just grinding to get my spells maxed out. Especially since I'm at the point where I'm supposed to go for Ultima. And how Ultima works in this game is it's based on the level of Ultima itself and the level of all the other spells that person can cast. So it's very much in my favor to have whoever that person is maxed out on their magic spells. So I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna do. In the meanwhile, I have started another Let's Play. It's a quickie. It's a Nintendo one. Crystalis, or Crystalis. I've used both pronunciations. I'm barely into it at all, which I just started it, so that's expected. But it is one of my all-time favorite video games. Willow, get out. Get down, not crouch. Get down. As in, get the fuck off my desk while I'm recording. When I'm not at the desk, you can lay up here as much as you like. Because I've given up trying to keep you off it all the time. I love this cat, but Jesus Christ, she texts me. But anyway, yeah, I barely started that, but it shouldn't take too long. I could probably knock that out in about 3 days. No progress whatsoever on Suikoden, but that's fine. A little bit of progress on Xenoverse, which I need significantly more, but what else? Matter of fact, I might have to have an episode up by tomorrow, or next week. Or not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. Actually, I'm curious. Let me check that. Let's see, Xenoverse, the last episode. Okay, so 75 is the first one to go up. First new one to go up. Check. May... Oh, no, I'm good till the start of June. Okay, June 3rd is when that goes up. Never mind. Still, I need to get on the ball. I'm really slacking on that. And that's not a good thing. But, yeah, I'm making remarkable progress on everything. I'm almost positive that Final Fantasy is going to have enough episodes to get me through to 2018. Maybe even a little into 2018, because I hit a couple snags along the recording in just big areas that I kept getting lost in, you know. Suikoden 2 may or may not be chased by Suikoden 3. It depends very much on my financial situation. You know, because I've got this whole bullshit with disability again, and still trying to get that little call center job, because I don't know what I'm supposed to ask for, if it has a specific name, or if it's just a thing, if I need to do a resume, so I'm trying to get a hold of my mother's roommate, who's vouching for me for the job, but I can't get a hold of him. So I need to get a hold of him, so I can get a hold of them, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Wish me luck, I'm gonna need it. But yeah, if I can get disability renewed and or get that job, then I'll be secure, and I can take a month and just plop down the money and get Suikoden 3 for the PS2, which will be played on the PS3, and I'll chase 2 with 3. And from there, who knows? I may or may not do the other ones, depending on how easy it is to get a hold of. I will say that PS2 games are remarkably easier to get a hold of than PS1 games. For example, I own I own Suikoden 2 for the PlayStation 1 entirely because of PlayStation Network. If PSN didn't have it for sale, I would have had to pay anywhere from $80 to $250 for that damn game, and I wouldn't be doing it. That would just be a game that I would emulate or something. But it's available for PSN, so I own it. I will have this entire place wooded over before too long. Anyway. Ooh, corn. Give me that corn. So yeah, before too long, before the end of winter, I intend to have enough, what's the word? Enough ores and such that I can completely sprinkler in everything. Get sprinklers doing sprinkler stuff, you know. That'll be a thing before too long. I think it's what? Yeah, it's quartz, iron, and gold. I can do that pretty easily, in fact. So yeah, out of wood for now, but I'll wood this off before too goddamn long. I'll also have a better axe in the winter, so I'll be chopping up these stumps, which won't give me normal wood. It'll give me hardwood, which won't do anything for me. But once I get enough to chop up the logs, I can get more hardwood, which again won't do a goddamn thing. Wow, I didn't think that through. But yeah, trees grow back, I'll chop down trees, or I could just fucking buy wood, I don't care. That's right, I was gonna pick the mushrooms. Anywho. Yeah, So, wish me luck for Star Trek. Gonna need it. Not very proficient with that game yet. I mean, I could be doing far worse, but I could also be doing significantly better. You know what I mean? I'll just let that be a thing. Now, there's one thing about the update that I'm not fond of, which is, while I can still pick like this, I don't seem to be able to plant like this, where I can just stand in one thing and plant in two areas, you know? That seems to have fallen on the wayside. And I do not appreciate that at all. So yeah, it looks like I will get a pumpkin to, Jody, I want to say? Abby's mother, in time before Halloween hits. That's cool. I'm grateful for that. That is still a quest I have, right? Now, I know full well that the game doesn't care. I could literally bring this to her in any day of any season. But you know full well the reason she wants the pumpkin is so she can carve out a jack-o'-lantern. And as stupid as it sounds, I, as a person, would feel better knowing that Abby got her jack-o'-lantern. It's a computer character, she doesn't really care, but I care. It's just kind of how I am. Guess I'm broken. I have an overly developed sense of empathy, and sometimes it kind of ticks me off. Okay. All of this crap's going in here for sailing. Selling. Because I need money, because winter's coming! That's the thing I could sell, or eat. Willow, get the fuck down. Get down! Squirt you some more. Quit jumping up there. I would never do it, but sometimes I just want to tase the cats. Yes, I love my cats far too much to actually tase them. But the desire is still a little bit there. Caroline. You're Caroline, correct? You are, in fact, Caroline. And it's a quality pumpkin. Oh, thank you. Isn't that about what they're worth? I've sold pumpkins before, right? I have. Shit, that's probably what the quality one was worth. Significantly more than a normal one. Yay, birds. So, yeah, looking forward to Star Trek. Not sure how well I'll do, but I really want to win, because that Defiant, oh... That is the USS Defiant from Kirk's era, but Archer's show. The Tholian Web. That Defiant. Also known as the In a Mirror Darkly Defiant. Same ship, different times. But yeah, that's the prize. With Archer and his crew aboard it. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. The event's not bad. That's one of the perks of me going up there and having that practice round, is we actually played out the event. So I know what the event is like, and I'm not going in blind. Which is a good thing, because, oh, that's a tricky one. It's one that I have to be extra careful of, but my dependence on cloaks for maneuverability means that I'm not likely to get tagged by it. Basically, lots of little mini-ships floating around that represent Tholian ships casting a web, and if you get between any of them, no matter if it's 1 or 10 fucking clusters of them, you take damage. It's very easy to get sawed into pieces. Like, my opponent ended up giving up because there was literally nothing he could do to keep the webs from tearing him to shreds. And I had sensor echoed my ass well outside the danger zone. Not only that, but I had him in my sights, so... Or no, I think at that point I just veered off and let the Tholians do it. But I basically had a good shot to have him in my sights next turn if he somehow survived the web, so... Whatever webs didn't get him, I would, you know? Next month's scenario seems really stupid. I've got to ask a couple things, because I've got a couple tricks that might help. But really it won't matter all that much, because it's one of those, oh, when the race is over, your actual fleet gets to fight kind of thing. It's a stupid race, and the rest of your fleet is just watching and can't do anything until the race is over. Well, you don't have to win the race for it to be over. The other person can win the race and get the bonus points, and you're just done, you know? No snow on my farm, goddammit. None whatsoever. Fuck snow. Snow is for northerners. But, yeah, so I'm gonna need lots of luck for this. Depending on how my finances look next month, I might be purchasing one or more, ships as well. I've had my eye on the Hathaway, Valiant, the Thunderchild, and the Delta Flyer. So we'll see what comes of this. But next month you win the Delta Flyer number 2, and I'm really, really wanting that. Because it's got some cool stuff, I think that Tom Paris does. Or no, it's got a weapon I really want. That's what it is. It's this little 3 dice attack. And how it works is you get to fire it twice, and you can shoot different targets, etc. But I think you can't put it on something over a hull of 3 or something like that, or a hull of 4. That's what it is. It does time tokens, so it's not like, oh, disable. So it's 3 time tokens on this. So I'm probably going to put it on a Constellation class ship, because how they work is they've got a 4 hull and 3 attack dice, so that's what they would normally do. And I'm going to put this on with Arsenal, so that I can basically do my basic attack every other turn. And on top of that, if I can luck out and find a crew that's like, oh, add one last time token per thing, then I will use them with Arsenal to cheese the fuck out of that, where basically every single turn, get down, I'm shooting twice. And they can be at different targets, or the same target, so it's not like, oh, this thing has to be at the same person, or, oh, this has to be at 2 different people. No, it's shoot twice, whoever you want. You know? And it'll be doing my primary weapon worth of damage. And I'm fine with this, you know? The only downside is that I won't necessarily get range bonuses. Like, if I'm at range 1, I won't get to do an extra die of damage. But there may or may not be ways to buff it, and worst case scenario, 6 dice is better than 4 dice. Especially over 2 targets. And I might also be able to arrange it so that, I don't remember if it says it can be fired out of the rear arc, but if it can, I've got a thing that turns... I might have a thing that basically gives my rear arc, or my not front arc, becomes my rear arc kind of thing. So, we'll see. There are ways to break that ship, and I intend to. If, big if I acquire it. And I really hope I will. God damn it. Of course, I still gotta... Before the Delta Flyer, gotta play for the Defiant. Like I told my niece, have the fight you're having, not the fight. Not a different fight, you know? Where she would get mad at her ex-boyfriend. He was their boyfriend at the time. Kind of, it was complicated. She was using him. You know? And I didn't appreciate it because that was my roommate at the time. I still wouldn't have appreciated it because he was a cool guy, but yeah, she would get mad at him and start bitching at me. I tell her, have the fight you're having. Don't be mad at him and yell at me. Because that's not going to end well. But anyway, that does it. We're done. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.